Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Rocketcraft. It has been a little while, hasn't it? It's been a couple of months since I last had the opportunity to upload an episode. Life has just been hectic. Ever since lockdown restrictions were lifted, been really busy with work, and yeah, the last couple of months have just been just a blur. But I have been popping on the server here and there, doing little bits and pieces like building up loads of copper here for people that are doing things with copper, and including myself. And yeah, this is where I would normally place the copper up here. And as I was clearing a load of it, I noticed there was a banner dude down here, or what I thought was a banner dude. I could only see the top of the banner, and I was like, "Oh no, there's a vindicator up here. How did he get up here?" And then I realised that it wasn't actually a vindicator. It was a zombie piglin. It had picked up a banner and it was wearing it, and I don't know where he's gone now. He's disappeared somewhere. He was here a minute ago before I started recording. That is typical, isn't it? You start recording and then the mob that you wanted to just show has wandered off. Has it made its way around the other side somehow? I don't know how. Yeah. Oh, was that him? Please tell me that wasn't him. He didn't look like he had a banner on. Let's just jump over this dripstone farm. That's him. There he is. He's still got his banner poking out through the blocks there. Let's just nudge him out so you can actually see him. Come on, cooperate, please. It's like dealing with villagers. Come on. Oh, you are so close to death. Come on, please. Please cooperate. And that should be enough. There we go. Look, there's a piglin, zombie piglin with a banner. Don't ask me why he's decided to pick that up and wear it, but he's rocking it. It's a good look for him, I think. Yeah. He's probably going to fall off or despawn or something before too long. But I just wanted to show you that, guys, because I've seen a skeleton pick one up before and wearing it, and I never managed to caught it on video before. So, but anyway, we're going to fly away and talk about something else now. Actually, we're not going to fly away. We're going to go through the Nether portal back here at the Drowned Farm, because the next thing that I wanted to show you that I did is I've done the tunnel for this this part of the Nether. And I've gone with a bit of an interesting block palette here. It's a nice mixture of copper to represent the Drowned Farm, because, you know, that's what it does. And then sea lanterns for the lighting. And then breaking it up with some calcite as the sort of blendy block. And I'm really liking the look of this tunnel. It's a bit weird, and, you know, maybe you wouldn't put these blocks together normally. But it's all waxed copper as well, so that it shouldn't be oxidizing, because I wanted the lightning rods in there for a bit of extra detail as well, and they obviously don't oxidize, so I wanted to keep all the rest of it lovely and clean and fresh copper looking as well. So, and here we are back onto the west tunnel in the Nether hub, or on the way to the Nether hub anyway. So let's just run along here, and from one Nether tunnel to another, I also had the opportunity to finish off my Nether tunnel coming off of the main hub bit, and I've decorated it with lots of piglins, because they're, you know, one of my favourite new mobs from the last update, and a couple of brutes in there as well. I've made them even bigger than the normal piglins using the armour stand magic that Foxy No Tails put together. And also we can now wear the mob heads, and the mob heads can just be equipped to the armour stands, and I'll show you that in a sec. But I wanted to also point out the fact that there's no visible lighting around here. The lighting is actually there in their feet. There's a torch. This was a trick that I saw Azuma do in one of his videos from last season of Hermitcraft, where, you know, he had some armor stands set up in a tunnel, and they were set up on the torch. And if I took the boots off of them, you'd be able to see the torch in the base there. But the armor stand, just literally just you plonk it on the wall and it just drops down onto the torch, and then you equip all the armor. And it hides the light source brilliantly. So yeah, it's as easy as literally just swapping the heads over now on the armor stand, because Foxy updated the pack so that you can wear them now, and obviously I've got such a big head that you can't really see much of the actual piglin head, but it's very easy to put them on the armour stands now. You don't have to use like shulker boxes or pistons or anything to move them around with. So that's nice that that's been sorted out. Oh, and also something that's been recently updated. Remember when you've got boots that have got Soul Speed 3, and it's the most annoying thing in the world because when they took a bit of durability damage from the soul sand, you couldn't take them off. But now you could take them off. It's only taken them about 6 months to fix that bug. Finally, we can remove our boots at will. I mean, we could always put them on the hotbar and like sort of do the switcheroo button that you could do. I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, you could switch your boots for like a non-para damage boots. But so over at my base, I was playing around with lightning, as you do, and it's taken a little while for a thunderstorm to occur, but not as long as you'd think actually, because we seem to get rain a whole lot more than we used to do. And that means there's the chance of a lot more lightning storms on Bedrock since the update as well. So yeah, didn't actually take too long. But I just wanted to investigate the frame situation with all this lightning going on, because someone asked in my comments when I showed a picture of this on Twitter, like, oh, how was your frame rate when that was going on? But as you can see, it's not even touching it. Thanks to Foxy's marker pack, you can see that it's a nice solid 60 frames a second pretty much with all this going on. And Trident's been a little bit glitchy since that update as well. Like, some of them aren't sitting on there properly on the lightning rods. Like, one or two of them come off for some reason. I don't know why. I've got to be quick because the birds are out and they will start, yeah, straight away. They've already popped my totem. But yeah, that Trident popped off of that one, but the top one is fine. So I don't know, it's not even like it's a top and bottom thing, because there's a bottom one on one of the ones on the other side and that's still fine. But I don't know. But yeah, it's 60 frames a second. It doesn't seem to be struggling with that. It's bloody loud as well, isn't it? But the thing is, like, on Bedrock you get a little bit far away and like things just don't render. They don't render half as far as they do on Java, so you don't see it from that far away. But yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? But yeah, like I say, I teased a picture of this on social media, but I hadn't actually shown anyone it actually working. But yeah, I just found a quick little tutorial. It was actually a short by Silent Whisper for that little lightning farm there. But it was inspired by Doc M and Rendog with their lightning generator over on Hermitcraft. But yeah, it's as simple as that. Excuse me, birds. They're so annoying. But yeah, I'm just going to pick the other tridents up because I don't want to risk them disappearing, the ones that aren't on the lightning rods, because, like I say, weird things have been happening with tridents on Bedrock since the update. There was a time for like about a week where they'd lost the looting effect. Like, looting effect wasn't being applied to projectiles, and all the Bedrock community went into like panic mode. They were like wondering if it had been removed intentionally, but apparently it was a mistake, thankfully, and we've got looting 3 back on our projectiles now. So that means trident killers are rocking again, which is very nice. Now, as far as I can tell, the lightning farm here doesn't actually serve any useful purpose whatsoever. It's just really cool, and it really hurts as well, as you can see. Lightning, a lot of lightning does do some damage, and that's why the birds don't come near me when I'm stood in the middle of it. Ow, Jesus, like, honestly. Let's just fly away and get away from the birds. Maybe find a bed to skip the night. Oh, my bed's inside the pyramid. Hang on, let's go up and let's see if we can pull off some manoeuvring. Wow, the mobs are really spawning like crazy at the moment. I'm the only person on the server at the moment, and that's why I'm getting all the mob spawns. But hopefully that should put an end to that. There we go. So, yeah, not much has changed in my base. Let's grab another totem, because, like I say, the birds popped my one. As you see, my axolotl chest is markedly empty, and there is a reason for that. I did have a few axolotls in there, but I've been using them for something, and I'm going to show you what that is a little bit later in the episode, but one thing I did want to show quickly was this sugarcane farm that I sort of designed myself and built, and it's bone meal powered, which is a Bedrock exclusive feature. For some reason on Java you can't bone meal sugarcane. You can bone meal everything else, but you can't bone meal sugarcane for some reason. I don't know why. They should bring the parity over from Bedrock to Java in this instance, I think. Like, why not make it so that Java can have like easier sugarcane farms as well? So yeah, basically there's dispensers there that just churn out bone meal, and the pistons keep breaking the sugarcane as it grows. And as you can see, it builds up pretty quickly. The hoppers are actually the choke point here. If you leave this on for too long, the hoppers just won't be able to keep up, and it will start to back up. But just running it for like 5 or 10 minutes here and there, and it's not a problem. But in my comments, when I posted up a little tutorial for this video, one of our friends, Shafted, pointed out that not getting maximum efficiency out of this farm because we're only breaking the top piece of sugarcane and not the 2 pieces that we could be breaking. And I was like, oh, that is a good point. And I set about trying to work out if it was possible to set up pistons to break both sets. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't seem to get it to time right. It just wouldn't. It would just stop the sugarcane being able to grow because the piston above it was stopping it from being able to grow. And I tried a few sort of different ways, and I couldn't get it to work. And then did a bit of looking around on YouTube and found this design here by Silent Whisper, and it was part of his advent calendar from like Christmas last year. And yeah, it's again a bone meal powered Bedrock sugarcane farm, but it has actually got both of the pistons there able to break the sugarcane, which I just couldn't work out for some reason. And also it's really clever because it uses waterlogged hoppers as the water source for the sugarcane, because as you know, sugarcane needs a water source next to it. And yeah, that actually works. It keeps the plant alive and healthy, and yeah, it's a really compact, nice little design, and I assume it would be able to be scaled up. I can't see why you wouldn't be able to. But the genius part is that he's got the repeaters powering the blocks below the dispensers. That's what I was missing when I was trying to come up with a design that made it so that you could power both pistons at the same time. And yeah, that's the reason. See, oh, one side's run out of bone meal. Yeah, so it's a nice little micro farm that churns out a lot of sugarcane, like twice as much as the other one for the amount of bone meal you're putting in. I know, you know, sugarcane is easy to get, but there you go. And one other thing that I did do was I redesigned my my smelter in my base. This one, I found a design on the internet. It just popped up on my YouTube feed one day. I watched it. It was only like a sort of 10-minute video, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea for a smelter. I'll try and build that. And I ripped out my old one, which used so many hoppers. There was about 3 stacks of hoppers went into that thing. This thing is really beginner sort of survival friendly because it only uses 4 hoppers. Literally 4 hoppers. One to feed the fuel, which is this chest here, and then one up the top here for the thing that you want to smelt, and then the pistons just keep moving this this feed tape around of furnaces, and it reaches this chest here, which is where the output is, and then it goes back up again, and the cycle continues. And it's such a clever design. I just, you know, the genius of people on the internet. And I wanted to try and see if I could mirror it on the back and make it so that you could run 2 off of the same clock. And it turns out you can. So all I did was mirror this. Oh yeah, and then there's this fox here. I did have an evoker that I'd kidnapped from a raid, and he was in this minecart here, and now there's a fox with a totem because the fox killed him. And I'm not pleased about it, but there you go. But now I've got a fox with a totem in its mouth stuck in there. And as you remember from the last episode, totems do actually work on other mobs. You could try and kill that fox and it would pop the totem. And yeah. So yeah, all it is just this line of redstone in the middle here that runs down the back of it, and I've just sort of split it off and mirrored it so that, you know, you can have 2 sets. So instead of having 15 furnaces, now you can have 30 furnaces, and it's, you know, it's very compact. It takes up very little space, and it's very survival friendly because it uses so few resources. You know, it's 4 pistons instead of a crap ton of hoppers, and, you know, I had mine carts and rails and God knows what else on my one, and this is actually the first time I've tested this thing. I built it over a month ago, and this is actually the first time I've actually tested it, because I just haven't had an opportunity to smelt anything, haven't needed to smelt anything, and I didn't really still need to smelt anything, so I thought I'd just chuck some stone in there and see what happens. But yeah, it's just pushing them around in a big loop, and it works excellently, and, you know, it works on the backside as well. And I just can't believe that it takes up so little space. Let's just turn it off. The furnaces will keep smelting for a little while, or it will look like they are, because the dried kelp blocks, I don't know if it's a good idea to put dried kelp blocks in this thing, because they burn for so long, and it's a bit of a waste, but you know. But as you can see, the items aren't just continually flowing down into it, because that hopper there is actually locked. If you check out the redstone, when the farm is off, the redstone is on there, which locks the hopper, so it stops it, you know, just draining all out into that one furnace there. So it's such a clever design, and I will definitely be building that again in our next season, because, like I say, it's just so few resources, and it's like half the size of my old one. My old one came out to about there somewhere, like near the bee farm, about there, something like that, and it was as wide as it is now, if not wider by a block maybe. But yeah, it's like half the length, because, you know, because we've got the furnaces all compact now in a little feed tape. So yeah, I will put a link in the description of where you can find this this smelter, because it's such a good design. I can't emphasize enough how much I love this design. But it was more the fact that I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could mirror it at the background. It wasn't really a challenge, to be honest, but, you know. Right, so moving swiftly on, I'm now going to pop over to show you what I've been up to with the axolotls. So I had to find a coral reef biome to build a farm, because when you want to breed axolotls, you need tropical fish, and you need a lot of tropical fish, and going around scooping them up with a bucket is no fun at all. So I decided to build a farm. As you can see, yeah, you can see from the colour of the water down there, we're in a lovely warm ocean. Why did I just take some random damage then? Nobody knows. Bedrock, you know. And so I came over here. This is just sort of south of Hippo's base, and you could sort of see Crab Island in the background there before. And I found this design for a tropical fish farm by none other than Nembom, who is one of the crazy people from Psycraft. Like, they are absolute goats when it comes to Minecraft. Like, they are literally the pinnacle of efficiency and pushing Minecraft to its limits. And this is the farm that he came up with after going through a few designs. And so I was like, oh, you know, I'm sure I can make this work on Bedrock. I'm sure the redstone can't be that difficult to translate. And so I set about doing it, and it took me all of a Saturday, like most of a Saturday, to do this. So you turn on that lever and that lever, and that second lever, all that does is activate this bit at the bottom here, which just pushes them from the hay bales into the water, the tropical fish that fall down. And then you've got this big glass tube where they fall down, and then I'll go up the top and show you the actual way that this thing works. Now, I just want to point out that I totally did manage to work out the redstone based on his video. He didn't put out an actual tutorial for it. It was just literally just him showcasing it, and you could kind of get an idea of how things worked from that. All I had to do was swap round the redstone blocks that power the pistons, because obviously we don't have quasi-connectivity on here. But basically, yeah, there's waterlogged chests, and then every now and then a pulse will go up that will activate all of the pistons at once, and it'll push out any fish into the middle there, into the fence gates, and then they just drop down the tube into the middle there. And it uses a really clever clock as well, that sort of decay clock that I'd not used before. So that was fun working that one out. But as you can see, it doesn't actually produce any fish, which is a bit disappointing, because I spent a lot of time making this farm, only to realise that the spawning mechanics for fish are completely different on Bedrock than they are on Java, which was a bit annoying. So yeah, I spent most of a Saturday building that farm, working it out without a tutorial, and like I say, I got it to work perfectly except for the fact that it won't spawn fish, because the spawning mechanics for the fish are different in Bedrock. So plan B was, I looked up to see if I could find any specifically for Bedrock, and the only one that I could really find that looked half decent was actually one that Silent Whisper built on one of his live streams when he was trying to breed axolotls. And it is basically just a big box with a load of soul sand at the bottom, and the bubble columns push the fish up, and then they sort of flow off the edge into a sort of middle collection area, and then from there they flow down into another bit. So I'll just run up there and show you that one quickly. But this one does actually work. I didn't completely waste all of my time while I've what little free time I have had. So as you can see, yeah, there's a fish over there that's spawned in. So they're actually able to spawn in bubble columns, no problem on Bedrock. I don't know why that is. And then there's flowing water on the top, and that drowned is in a world of trouble when he gets down there, because those axolotls are going to eat him for breakfast. So yeah, the fish spawn in, they pop up, and then they just flop down, and they try and fight against the current for a little while, but it is inevitable. They are inevitably going to flop down there. And let's just jump down quickly and show you the collection area, which is just in here. Yeah, there's the rotten flesh from that axolotl killing the drowned. So yeah, I've got a few axolotls in here, and yeah, so the tropical fish, they just plop down, and I just grab a couple of buckets like so, and then just scoop them up. They can be a bit finicky to scoop up sometimes. Like, you'll try and scoop one up, and you'll accidentally scoop up some water, and yes, it's feeding time. No, it isn't really. I'm just teasing them. I've fed so many fish to those things. And it doesn't take a genius to work out what exactly I was trying to achieve here. I was trying to get a blue axolotl because they're incredibly rare and hard to get, and no one else on the server had managed to get one yet. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a go. I'll see if I can come up with something. And so I thought I'd actually try, oh, goatfish, bucket of goatfish. What? What's a goatfish? Well, I'll see if there's some goats around here that want a goatfish. I'm sure there will be. I don't even know what a goatfish looks like. I'm not going to put it back in. I'm just going to keep hold of that. Random. But anyway, yeah, so a few people had been trying a lot. They'd been trying their hearts out and just weren't having any luck. But so I thought, right, I'm going to build a tropical fish farm first. So I've got an infinite supply of these things. They just, as fast as you can pick them out of the bucket, they just keep coming down. But one thing I did realise as I was doing this, as you can see, I've got a lot of tropical fish backed up, and there's even more around here in these other shulkers. One thing I did realise was the axolotls actually share the mob cap for the tropical fish. So the fact that there was a load of axolotls right next to that tank meant that there was times when, while I was breeding them, I wasn't getting any spawns from the tropical fish farm. So I decided to move this tank over here and build it a bit further away, hopefully out of the range of the actual tropical fish farm itself. And there is a notable difference between these axolotls and the axolotls in the first tank, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. But so I'd been breeding them like crazy, the ones in that first tank, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting any blue axolotl, which was very disappointing. And I tried everything I could. Like, well, you know, I just kept breeding them and nothing. And I know they're incredibly rare. They're like 1 in 1,200 or something like that. So these ones weren't doing it for whatever reason, but the other ones eventually did yield a blue axolotl, and I will explain what the difference is and what I think caused me to have so many problems and why everyone else seems to struggle to get them so much. And there it is, the bucket of baby blue axolotl. I haven't even allowed it to grow yet. It's just gone straight in my wallet with all my valuables. I haven't got this thing out since it spawned. So the difference I found that actually worked was you can't try and get a baby blue axolotl from... Oh, there's that thing as well. I really need to do something with that. Yeah, so the blue axolotl wouldn't be born for me from axolotls that had already been bred by me. I had to go get a load of new axolotls that I'd found in the wild and breed those, and then kill off any offspring that weren't baby blue axolotls until I eventually found one. But if you just get 2 axolotls and just breed them and then breed the next generation, and if they all come from ones that you've bred, they don't seem to produce a blue axolotl from what I found. It could just be me, but you know, that's what I found. I just got like 20 odd naturally spawned axolotls and just kept breeding them over and over, killing the offspring and then breeding them over and over. So anyway, but that is the end of this return episode, and I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will be back with another episode, hopefully same time next week. Take care everyone, and bye for now.